Thank you, Mr. President. The citizens of Michigan, I suspect this morning I will ruffle some bipartisan feathers. The issues I will address today are bipartisan because they have been unaddressed by legislatures.
Senators, we have a colleague speaking to the chamber. Thank you. The President recognizes Senator Runestad.
Thank you. They have been unaddressed by legislatures and administrations for decades, regardless whether the Republicans had total control, as under Snyder, or the Democrats under Granholm. Nothing seems to change because the system benefits the system, but not you, not the people. These issues I will address today are those of ethics and transparency. Michigan has consistently ranked 50th out of 50 in the nation for transparency. And, dear voter, this is nothing new. It has been going on decade after decade, decade after decade. However, I see with great pleasure that the new Speaker of the House, and supported by the Senate Majority Leader, is taking up these very issues and proposing financial disclosure statements to bar members from voting on bills where they would personally, substantially benefit. We are one of just 2 states that have nothing on the books requiring financial transparency. The House is also putting forward a resolution requiring a 2/3 vote on bills introduced during the lame duck session. Voter, the lame duck session is a term used for the last weeks of session, wherein many bills that did not pass up to that point, as well as a potential boatload of new bills, can all be steamrolled through in a tsunami that benefits the system, but perhaps not you. Again, dear voter, this embarrassment has existed across the partisan divide as long as anyone can remember. Further, it is not just a legislature problem. Governors also love lame duck, as they can insert in secret backroom negotiations a glut of their own pet projects and agenda items. Bills with merit can and should move along in an orderly process over a 2-year time period. It should not be subject to last-minute secret backroom negotiations and then gushed out as from a fire hose onto the legislative floor. Voter, lame duck has always been a private club, and voter, you ain't in it. Another mockery of our system is allowing legislators to walk right out the revolving door when their terms are up and immediately begin working as high-paid lobbyists. Michigan is only one of 12 states with no waiting period. When in the House and now the Senate, I unsuccessfully tried to pass bills requiring a wait period of 2 to 3 years before a legislator can take a job as a lobbyist. A legislator's vote can have great power in determining a bill's outcome, but even more so as a committee chair. This massive power should not enable them to leave and begin directly lobbying for the very industries that they oversaw. Now, perhaps there was no quid pro quo, but how in the hell is the public to know? Illustrating this concern, after last session, we saw legislators walk directly out the door and right into a lobbying firm. In one case, directly lobbying an industry he oversaw as committee chair. And if you can believe it, we even had one who is both a paid lobbyist and a legislator, both at the same time. The public's perception must end of politicians converting their public positions into personal payoffs. The people want the legislature and the governor's office to seize this opportunity and to pass these long overdue reforms that would elevate us from the absolute swampy bottom of the barrel to the top, to the best, to becoming the city on a hill. I sincerely hope for the people of Michigan that we take this historic opportunity to restore pride in the hearts of the people here in the state of Michigan. Colleagues, I can assure you, the people have had enough. They've had enough of the swampy cesspool. They have had enough of the incessant talking and promises. They have had enough of hoping government would clean up this mess. They want action, and they want it now. And I, for one, will not stop talking and advocating for these reforms until we get it done. Mr. President, I would like my comments printed in the Journal.